The most popular events are our hetero, ages 25 to 45. My sweet spot for events is 50 to 200 people. That is most popular on the single side. On the single side, the most popular events are our hetero, ages 25 to 45. We consistently get 60 to 80 people at those events. Honestly, we could probably get more if the venues, we kind of get capped on venue space. There's only so many venues that can hold 100 people consistently on a weeknight. So that is most popular on the single side. On the friend side, I've been still testing out several different ideas. So we've really narrowed it down to 6. Seems like a lot still. A friend event series. So we have DJ coffee clubs is like our staple, what we've done for the longest. Just started nerd nights. So these are lectures in a bar with a PowerPoint presentation. These have been selling out well in advance. We do these monthly, and we have an event next week and it's already sold out. So those events have been picking up steam. I love learning as a nerd myself that always went to school. I always went to my classes to listen to my professors. I never skipped a class. And I just like being taught and learning new things. So nerd nights are really popular. And then we're doing some, dance walks is another series. It's a free community event. We're going to start those back up in May. And those are outside. We have a mobile speaker. So we work with, it's a collaborative event with We Walk Indie. They're a free walking club. Fred Miller, who is a musician, artist, so many jack of all trades. He brings his mobile speaker so we can dance on the sidewalks of Indianapolis. We are going to move them around to different neighborhoods this year. So we already have the routes planned out. Casey at We Walk has already planned all the routes. She is phenomenal. And now it's in my court to get all the marketing and stuff up for it. But dance walks are a lot of fun. It's just a really great way to get people outside moving of all ages. We have kids, adults, grandparents. It's one of my most favorite events too.
That sounds really fun.
And all these events are inspired by other cities. I could not I'm great at implementing and researching and trying to figure it out here. But I love taking inspiration from social media and what other cities are doing and bringing it here to Indianapolis. Because we don't necessarily have to travel to go to a party or a DJ set in Austin, Texas or New York. We can bring that here home.
Bring it here, 100%. That's a really good tie-in to something that I think you are the perfect person to ask, because I know you do quite a bit of traveling. You get around. I know you're saying as we sat down here, you were in Thailand not long ago.
Yeah.
So what is something, and I know you've literally brought some things you experienced in other cities to Indianapolis already. That's why you're the perfect person to ask. But is there anything on your radar that hey, I experienced this in another city, whether that's a type of food or an event, that you're I wish we had this in Indianapolis?
The DJ coffee clubs, that was the first one. I went to a Daybreaker event in Austin, Texas. For some reason, they won't come to Indy, and I've heard that from multiple people that I've tried to bring that event series here and fill out their forms. They just won't come to Indy.
So for a boring old person, what is a Daybreaker?
Daybreaker is it's a large event series. They go all around the world, but it's a daytime. It's health and wellness. They do a mindful meditation, and they have a DJ set for an hour or two. It's very sober focused. I don't think there's any alcohol. They might have some THC drinks, but there's not traditional alcohol there. I went to Austin, Texas to experience it, fell in love, and I was like, all right, well, let's bring this here to Indianapolis. Something else that's on the horizon is, I didn't experience this, but from my trip in Thailand, I wish the dates worked out, but in Thailand, they do a massive water gun festival.
I've heard of that.
Yes, cool. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's coming up in April.
Yeah.
I have seen this on social media. This looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
So for our July coffee club, I'm really trying to figure out how we can incorporate a small version of a water gun festival at the last half of the event.
That'd
So
be so fun.
that's something I'm really pumped about. We have a venue space. It's perfect. They already said we can do it. So now I just need to figure out the logistics on my end of how we're gonna execute it. But yeah. Water Gun Festival.
That's a great answer. And I'm sure you have me thinking now too, like what are some things that we could start doing in Indy that might even be like unique to Indianapolis and be a draw, like, because we've always, the old one that my head goes through is like the Indy 500 has been here forever and draws people in. But
you think you can logistically put together another Indy 500 that we can claim as our own cultural event?
That's just with what you've told me so far. I think that's the bar you're gonna clear. Just make a centuries long impact.
That'd be really cool. Actually, it's funny you say that because I don't like doing really large events. I owned a food truck park in Terre Haute for a couple of years in like 2022, 2024 area. And it was really inspired because I just love food trucks. Actually, it was inspired through Portland, Oregon, how they have a bustling food truck scene. And I was like, I want to experience a food truck festival, like a food truck park. From what I see, there's none in Indiana. And I tried in Terre Haute, learned a lot of lessons. There's just a lot of things out of my control. And I also didn't have the budget to like really make it to what it should have been. So we shut that down in also 2024. But with that, on the event side, it's like I had to get thousands, like hundreds of thousands of people to my food truck park on a weekend. And it was so stressful. So I realized, and like whenever you're like shutting down streets, my sweet spot for events is 50 to 200 people. Like once it gets past 200, there's too many logistics and things that have to go into play. So yeah, I've realized that's like what I love the most, is be able to really curate an experience for a small community.
You can check out our full library of episodes wherever you get your podcasts.